Hello, hello, good evening. Cliff here. Just wanting to get in your ear hole for a second and kind of talk about mindset mattering, right? And what I mean by that is it's quite well, first and foremost, what's up with the background, right? Real quick, I have found myself in Topeka, Kansas this day, and it's been very interesting to say the least. There's been some serious things that have come out of today, and that's promoted me to want to reach out and put this video together to talk about how important mindset is and how important the idea of you getting inside of your own head and understanding what makes you tick and developing the goals and the foresight to get where you want to get to. You know, the norms and values that we have, the beliefs that we have about our situations, about our lifestyles, about us in general, about you in general, control where you'll go, what you'll do, who you'll see, what you're going to be, how big you can become, what aspirations you can truly achieve. So, I just wanted to jump on for a few minutes and talk to you guys about that because it is so important. As entrepreneurs, you are self-motivated, period. You wouldn't be where you're at if you weren't, right? So with that self-motivation, what do you do to cultivate and continue to manifest your activity level and keeping that going? So mindset absolutely matters. Where is your mind at? Is it coming from a sense of I'm gonna prove them wrong? And to touch on that for a second, it's very easy to get wrapped around the axle on that because because the idea is that we've all had naysayers, right? We've all had haters, as they call them nowadays. We've all had those people in our lives that said, "You're not going to make it. This is a Ponzi scheme," or "You've never made it in the past," or whatever the case may be. There's those people, there's those thoughts, there's those things that manifest in our heads, and they really take root. And I wanted to talk about the seeds that we plant and where we put focus. So, as you guys all know, a rose bush has a lot of roses on it, right? However, it also has a ton of thorns. I wonder what the ratio of rose petals versus thorns is. And when you really look at a rose bush, do you look and see 1,000 thorns? Or do you look and see the beauty of the roses? The way that they smell, the way that they look, the way the petals fall on the leaves, how the dew rests on them, and how the sun just seems to kiss them? Or do you look at the pain and the, oh my gosh, possibility of pricking a finger or ripping some flesh and bleeding on the thorn? I can tell you straight up, a thorn bush, aka a rose bush, has a ton more thorns on it than it ever has roses. And how is it that some of us look at that rose bush and say, "Oh, how beautiful that rose bush is"? And then some of us look at that same rose bush and say, "Oh, there's so many thorns on that. If I were to grasp that thorn bush, aka rose bush, would I really grasp the rose, or would I just bleed from the thorns penetrating my skin?" That's some real stuff. When you take that down to a much deeper level, you start to ask yourself all these questions. Like, can I do it? Am I worthy? Am I able? Do they believe in me? All these different questions. So I just kind of wanted to run down a few of the things that I struggled with when I first started my online business, right? And literally just to go down the list, I thought I had to be tech savvy. No. I thought that I needed to have some innate ability to click a mouse, copy and paste something, I mean, I didn't even know the command, the keyboard command, Control V to paste. That's not a problem, right? That's an opportunity for a solution. And I learned that, right? So, I thought I had to be tech savvy. I thought I had to be younger. I'm 34 now. I see a lot of younger individuals in digital marketing and in freelance marketing and in affiliate marketing and all these different membership sites, and they are of a younger age. That doesn't befront me, right? My creator, my source, my God says that I can do whatever I want to do if it is found within him, right? And I don't want to get too religious on you, but that's the real deal. So if you have any type of God-fearing bone in you, or if you think that there's some source that created you, understand that source believes in you. And it doesn't believe in you at 18 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 80. It believes in you any day of the year, any day of the month, any day. Doesn't matter. They believe in you. That creator believes in you. And I've come to grips with that. Thank God for me. Thank my creator for me being able to come to grips with that. So yeah, I thought I had to be younger. And that's not the case. I thought I had to be on Facebook for years to be able to do Facebook ads. I thought for sure I had to be on Facebook for years to create a following and to create some type of environment where people would take me seriously, to see me, that I had value, that I had something to provide. And that's not the case. I mean, if you ain't got a Facebook profile right now, that's not a problem. That's yet another opportunity for a solution. I thought I had to be hip to the new ways of doing things. I thought I had to kind of reinvent that wheel. No. I thought I had to be on the cutting edge. I had to inundate myself with whatever new and different processes, whatever squirrel was jumping out of the woods, whatever new shiny object. I had to be a master of it before I could ever become, successful in an online business. That's not the case. I thought I had to have a bunch of money to get started. And that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions. You want to talk about the biggest crock of BS. You do not need a bunch of money to get started on your business. You just need you. You just need an idea. You just need to go after it, right? You need to believe in yourself. You need to find that fortitude and go. And don't be afraid of stunning your knee. Don't be afraid of falling off the bike. Don't be afraid of failure. As an entrepreneur, we need to fail fast and fail forward. So we find out what doesn't work, and then we move on to what could work. And if that doesn't work, we move on to what could work. And if that doesn't work, we move on. It's test, right? Theoretically, as you optimize your business, you're going to be testing all types of stuff. Think about one of the biggest gas stations out there, whatever it is, right? They're testing copywriting on different billboards. They're testing different ad campaigns on commercials. They're testing radio productions. They're testing all types of stuff because they're trying to get to their market. And you would think they have it figured out by now, but they're still trying to get that niche. So they don't know if you're going to really react to the billboard or the big sign by them or the Facebook ad that says, hey, stop by and get a free whatever pumpkin spice something or other, and all that jazz. So, that's the real deal. You do not have to be on the cutting edge to get involved. You just got to get involved. You just got to get on the bike. Most of us all know how to ride a bike, and when you learned how to ride a bike, it wasn't on, the baddest bike out there. It wasn't a Trek. It wasn't, whatever the baddest bike. It wasn't a Schwinn. I'm trying to think of another one. Anyway, you get it, right? You weren't on the baddest bike out there. You were on a bike. You were on a two-wheeled vehicle with a crank and two pedals. Period. That's not cutting edge, but you were able to make moves. You were able to go forward. You were able to push and get through, right? So you don't need to be on the cutting edge. I'm dead serious. So let's move on. I thought I had I thought I had to oh, we talked about the bunch of money. Sorry. Next one was that I thought that the boat had sailed. I thought that this digital marketing thing, this freelance marketing thing, this ad agency, these different ways to make money online had escaped me. I missed the boat. Not the case. Absolutely not the case. This boat is just being built. You know, there's boats that are arriving at the dock daily, and nobody's ever seen these things before. You know, some of these business systems have never been invented. So, to that regard, you are on the cutting edge. Let's see. So I thought that I hate to say this to you guys, but I thought I wasn't smart enough. You know, I'm a pretty smart dude, but I'm not savvy. You know, I don't feel like I have that much independent thought that, you know, I'm above the rest or that I have some innate ability to think abstractly, right? So I literally thought I wasn't smart enough to be able to run an online business, to be successful at it, and that is just not the case. I literally thought I wouldn't have the support. I thought that if I were to get involved in this kind of business, that I wouldn't have the community behind me to support me and to help me get through and understand, right? Definitely not the case. There are so many groups out there, so many communities out there that want to help each other learn, help each other grow, help each other succeed, you know, and it's not a competition, it's more of a team. It's more of a relay race, right? So we're passing the baton forward instead of being in competition and saying, oh, I'm not going to share my secret sauce with you. It's more of a, hey, can I share my secret sauce with you because there's a billion, jillion, whatever, how you want to say it, people out there that deserve to know about this, that deserve to have an opportunity to take it to the next level. So, let's see. I thought I didn't make I didn't make enough money, right? So, as we all come into whatever entrepreneurship adventure you are, most likely you've had a 9 to 5, and that's what's fueling or providing funds to this new dream, right? And I could have swore that I didn't make enough. Again, absolutely wrong. I made more than enough to be able to start a business and to really start getting my teeth sunk in and getting some skin in the game. So here's one personally for me. I thought my Lyme's disease would hold me back. So little factoid about me, I have Lyme's disease, right? I got bit by some little tick years ago, ended up having tons of symptoms, had a bunch of, tons of symptoms. So I finally went to the doc. They said straight up after running some blood tests, they're like, Cliff, you got Lyme's disease, and you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. We can control it, we can maintain it, but this is the deal. You're gonna have these issues. And I thought for sure, I literally thought that the stress and the complications and the opportunities for solutions would bog me down and give me, just too much to deal with, right? For me to take care of and maintain with my Lyme's disease. And not the case. Absolutely not the case. This one's kind of sad. Some of these get worse as we get down the list, but I literally thought that I couldn't learn a new skill. I thought that I had gotten to the point where I was in the industry that I work in and the realm that I work in. I didn't feel like I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I felt like I was this old dog that couldn't learn a new trick. And that is just not the case. It is absolutely not. I'm not really an old dog. So I can totally learn a new trick for one. And even if I was an old dog, why not learn a new trick? Why not get in there and make a mess of things and just figure it out? That's kind of how we roll anyway through life. So Yeah, I literally thought that I could learn a new skill. So, um, I thought that my broken back would hold me back because I have issues with sitting in a chair for very long periods of time. I have issues with standing up for a very long period of time. So it's, I got to have that very desk, right? I got to be able to stand, sit, because if I do too much of one, it just starts, killing me, man. My back starts aching. It starts consuming my brain and all this stuff, and I could have swore that that was something that I would not be able to overcome to build an online business. And again, no, no, no. I'm way capable. Why not just stand up for a little bit? I mean, why not take a walk around around the house, around the block, around the whatever, go do something for a second and come back and get at it. So, and that's exactly what I've done. So, I got more on the list, right? But there's really no point in going further through the list because the bottom line is that all of those limiting beliefs, all of those feelings that I wouldn't be able to succeed, that I wouldn't be able to overcome, held me back until I truly started to link up with, some serious self promotion stuff, really getting into the idea of learning how to be more valuable to myself, understanding that, my mindset, if I got a bad attitude towards everything, if I think this sucks and I think that it's not going to work, most likely the universe just said, you're right, Cliff, it's not going to work. And that's how it rolls. I mean, I don't know if you've ever rolled up to Walmart, Walgreens, Martin's, whatever grocery store you go to, Albertsons, there's a bunch of them. But if you've ever rolled up to the grocery store and you get that spot at the front, what were you thinking about as you came towards the grocery store? Were you thinking, I'm going to get that spot up front? I'm going to get the front spot. And then you rolled up and you got it. Flip side of that same coin. For years, this was me, right? For years, I would roll up to whatever store it was and I would say, man, I'm never going to get that spot up at the front. You're exactly right, Cliff. You always had to park way in the back because of my mindset was set for way in the back. I had punched in 20th row, furthest from the front door in my mind. And the universe said, yep, you're dead on, Cliff. You're exactly right. You're gonna get put exactly where you said you want to get put. And I'm pulling no shots with you right now. I've changed that mindset. And now I think I'm going to get that spot at the front. And I am not going to lie at all. It happens. I get the spot at the front consistently. Even if there's a car parked in the spot that I want to go to, as I get closer to it, before you know it, the reverse lights come on and they're pulling out of that spot. I'm not lying. That is fact. I urge you to try that in your own life. I urge you to take the simplicity of getting a parking spot and start thinking about it in a more positive light instead of a negative light. Like when I would think, oh, I'm never going to get that spot up at the front, that sounds it sounds negative, and it is negative, right? However, on the flip side of that coin, when I would say, I'm going to get that spot up the front, it's going to be open. I'm going to be able to pull right into it. That's a positive affirmation. The universe, your God, the source, however you want to refer to it, reacts to that stuff. You as a human being are so in touch with the world that you live in that you change it. You create it. You manifest it. However you want to say it, whatever fancy words you want to attach to it, you develop what it is that you experience. And I think, for some of us, we're like, no way. I didn't do that. I didn't create this. However, if you were to really look at the scenario, I would bet 9 times out of 10, you can see somewhere down along the lines where you thought about something, where you aimed your ideas and your mind at something, and sure enough, it took place. So, mindset matters. Where's your mind at? You know, like, I'm sure you've heard of Tony Robbins, and I'm sure you've heard about Tony Robbins' event where he has them walk across hot coals, like burning hot coals. How is it that they walk across those coals without getting blisters on their feet? It's because of their mind. It's because of where their head was at. It's because of the quantum physics that back this whole idea up about how your mind controls your matter. So I'm sure as a child or even as an adult, you might have been told mind over matter, right? And I never really understood what that meant until probably the last couple months when I was like, man, this mindset thing allows us to see past our current situations. It allows us to see into the future of what could be, you know, what will be, what do you desire? And, you know, within that, what are you doing to change your mindset? You know, like for me, first and foremost, one of the biggest things that I had to do, I hate to say this, but I had to get rid of a few friends. And I don't know if get rid of is the right word, but I had to disassociate with some of those friends because bottom line is they were negative Nancy's. They were just down in the dumps. They felt like the world was against them and that they were never going to win. And I would find myself either doing one of two things, either completely siding with them and saying, "Oh yeah, you got the bad end of the stick, man. This is such a pear-shaped scenario for you." Or I would look at it as like, "Man, that is the worst. You know, how did that happen to such a good guy?" Well, truth of the matter is that we as humans create all the good and all the bad that comes to us. You know, and some of you watching this video are like, "Yeah, Cliff, I don't do that to myself. I don't attract issues to me." But you do. You do. It's because of what's in your head. So I'll use my brother as an example. My brother was, I mean, he's an awesome dude. Don't get me wrong. Tyson is I love him to death. However, he is a very negative person. So, you know, his first impression is that things are going to go bad. His first thought is that, you know, worst case scenario. So that if he prepares himself for worst case scenario, when it happens, he's not caught off guard. I got a big problem with that, right? And we've talked quite a bit, you know. We've passed some bottles around trying to get this understood, and I keep telling him, and he's coming around. I'll be completely honest. Thank you, Tyson. He's coming around to the idea that he controls his thoughts. His thoughts, therefore, create emotions. From those emotions, create actions, and out of those actions generate results. So let's bring it full circle. As he thinks negatively about something, therefore the event comes along, and then it is negative because he had already projected his feelings about it. Let me put it on this level, right? You've heard about placebos, right? You've heard about double-blind studies. I had really never understood what they meant by this double blind or this placebo test. So I did some research. Come to find out, the idea is that scientists do experiments, period, right? However, when a scientist does an experiment, his or her individual perspective on how the event will turn out truly changes the results. It literally, like the way that you feel about something changes the way that it would work. So like, perfect example, they want to test out some headache medicine, right? And the scientist thinks that this medicine works better than that medicine. Well, they give their test subjects this medicine and that medicine. Well, sure enough, at the end of the study, this one shows to be 57% more effective than that one. Can they really trust those results? No, because the perception of the person applying the test jaded or affected or adjusted the actual results only by way of the way they felt about it. So that's when they started that's when they started doing the double-blind studies, where a scientist would tell another scientist, which tells another scientist, hey, we want to do this experiment. Go do it. So that they're twice removed from thinking of the results. Because every time you test something, you're projecting the results. You're thinking or assuming how things are going to work. Next step was the placebos, right? So you've heard about placebos. The group A gets sugar pills, group B gets the real medicine. They're both sick with the same illness. Group A was told, this is the best medicine. You guys are actually getting the real medicine. This is better than what group B is getting. You guys are getting the real stuff. Go to group B, give them the medicine and say, hey, here's the medicine. Period. Sure enough, group A comes back with better results, like amazing, astonishing stuff, where they're getting healthier, they're getting better across the board on multiple different facets, and all they're taking is a sugar pill. The other team, the other group, group B, that was actually getting the medicine, sure, they're progressing, sure, they're getting better, but not at an exponential rate. It's because what's happening in their mind. Group A was told, I got the better stuff. Group A was told, you guys are going to do good from this. Group A was told, this is the best we can give you. However, Group B was told, here's the medicine, take it. They weren't fed any type of positive affirmations about what they were taking. They weren't given any perspective as to how much better than the other team's, pill is, right? Sure enough, and it happens over and over and over. People that take a placebo pill see results because how they think about it. So just imagine if you were to plant a seed about your business and think about it like some of these things that I listed down, like, I am smart enough. I am worthy. I am. Fill in the blanks. Just imagine if you were to take it to that level, and just imagine what could truly happen from that. I mean, that's powerful stuff. That's real deal Holyfield stuff. So, you know, I know I've gone on for a little bit, right? We've talked about a lot of stuff. I get it. But do you get it? Do you truly understand that your mindset matters? If you think it's a rainy day, it's raining out. You know, as you feel sad, the world feels sad. You know, happy moments don't create happiness. It's the other way around. Happiness creates happy moments. So think about that, you know, really internalize that and give me some feedback. You know, hit me back in the comments here and let me know what you think about that, because as we think about our thoughts, that's when we truly get down into the depths of understanding what is limiting us, what is holding us back, or what is propelling us forward. So for me, in closing, I like to say a few things every morning. Let's see if I can dig them up here. So I say to myself every single morning, I am a money magnet. I am ready to receive everything this world has to offer me. I am worthy. I am calm. I am patient. And I am loving. And it happens. My wife sees it. My kids see it. The people I work with. The people that work underneath me. The people that buy my products. You know, they see that. They feel that. They understand that. So I ask you, what are you doing? What are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do right now? All we have is right now. So take a few seconds hit me back. And stop thinking that you can't, because you absolutely can. I totally believe in you. Let's make it happen. Talk soon.